Been out and about all day.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, eighth wonders of the world, welcome to this is going to be episode 4, I guess, of I'm Up with Anthony Santino. I have Yvette Segan with me, right?
Yeah.
That's it? That's how you say your name?
Yes.
Excellent.
Good job.
She just said she's been out and about all day. You live close to me, too.
I do.
You live, like, I'm in Williamsburg, you're in Greenpoint.
In Greenpoint.
That's cool.
So come stalk me there.
Yeah, it's like North and South Korea, basically.
That's exactly. And
Same.
they feud.
There's big feuds going on.
There's no
Yeah.
good relationship there. It's
Yeah.
It's a problem. It's volatile. The borders are tough.
Yeah, when I get a bagel in Greenpoint, I just consider it the demilitarized zone.
As
Yeah.
you should.
As I should. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
all
appropriate.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I could think of for that. There's other North and South places, but Yvette is a comedian. She is, right? You are?
Correct.
Just to confirm, I'm working for the government and the Census Bureau, apparently. Yeah, and thank you, because I was going to have Yvette on at some point soon. Just full transparency. I was supposed to have someone else come on today. They bailed on me, and I understand they had a good reason. I'm not going to give up their identity, Chloe Famiano. No, I'm just kidding.
Sounds like she's kind of a bitch.
She's great. She's great. She's very funny, and she'll be on soon, but she couldn't make it today. So thankfully, I had you. You said yes. I was asking you, and you said yes.
That is exactly what happened.
Yeah. So you just came from a show as well, right?
Yes.
Yes. We are recording this at night because I'm going away in a couple of days, but I'm so busy the next couple of days. So I did one last night with Hamza Chowdhury. You know him?
Love him.
He's great. He's a person.
He's a guy.
Yeah. Where was your show?
It was at the Grizzly Pear Midtown.
Oh, nice.
Heard of it?
Heard of it. Was it a house show or indie production?
It was an indie show.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really good. It was this girl, Hannah. She produces it, and it's called Silly Geese. I think it's monthly.
Yeast, like
Silly
yeast?
Geese.
Oh,
Sorry,
geese.
I
They said
swallowed my
yeast.
words.
That's okay.
It might as well be yeast because it's all women.
It was all women. Oh, so that would work too.
It could be Silly Yeast. Maybe we should tell her.
She should change it, because I can't think of good show names, but I think I just did for the first time. So
That was a good one.
that works out pretty well.
If you hate women, that's good.
You're the first woman. I had 2 white guys, a guy from well, he's not from Pakistan, but his like family is, so
Good
Pakistani American.
cool.
Good clarification. Well, I also called him Indian by accident, but partition, things happen. But and then now you're the first woman, so this is monumental. We have a plaque for you somewhere, I'm sure.
I love being the first woman.
Yeah, I mean, I self-produced this podcast, and no one made up a plaque, but I'll act like we have one for you.
I'll take a paper plate award if you have it.
Yeah, we'll give you a paper plate award, like a pizza party. There was
great.
a lot of alliteration in that sentence. Just saying. Wait, what's your favorite pizza place around here?
Okay, guys, can I be so honest?
Apparently, you want to be.
I don't really like
You
pizza.
don't like pizza.
It's the worst thing about me.
Why?
I try not to tell people, although now I'm telling a podcast, but it just doesn't, I don't like it.
You've never had good pizza?
I've had incredible pizza my entire life. I've been to Italy. I had good pizza, but it just isn't my favorite. And people are like, oh my God, pizza. And it's just, I would never pick it. There's so many other things to eat.
Have you ever had Best Pizza, for example, in the neighborhood here?
No, I had Polly G's. That was pretty good.
Polly G's, where's that?
It's up in Greenpoint. It's like they do sort of an artisanal slice, which I like. I'll go to a pizza restaurant. I'm more of like if you make an interest, like if there's like a honey and like a broccoli rabe and a mushroom like on a artisanal pizza personal pie.
So if they put
I'm
the
more
word
inclined to that.
they put the word artisanal, you're in.
If it's fancy, I'll do it. If it's expensive,
if the lighting is right and your friend took a good picture of the situation, you're like, this pizza's great.
yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I get it away from me.
Cool. I know I fully pigeonholed you into being not a pizza person but you kind of claim to be that.
I'll claim it, but the thing is, like, because it makes me so hard to be around because pizza is such like a social food.
You are now, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And people like me less, so I pretend I like pizza. I have a friend who I've known for my entire life.
Yeah.
Whenever we're together, we eat pizza. She loves pizza. She loves it so much. It's her favorite. She loves tomatoes. I told her like the other week, I was like, oh, pizza's not my favorite. She was like, what? Like, I'd never told her that.
Right. So
she didn't know that about
have
me.
you like faked liking pizza for like a relationship? Have you done that? Gone that far?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I've never, I don't fake anything.
That's okay. There we go. Elaine Bennis over here, guys. We have a Seinfeld episode on our hands, apparently.
I'll be brutally honest.
That's better. That's better.
In a relationship.
That's
a
good.
lot of my friends, though, like to make things easy, but that's also why all my relationships fail. So
you or them? Oh, you're saying yours failed.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find a thing. You'll find a person, you know. A person or a thing. You'll find one. You know, like, you know, something. You know, something's got to give. You did the Midtown Grizzly Pear tonight, and it was Simply Yeast, or what was it called?
Silly
Geese. Sorry, Simply Yeast. This is me workshopping new show names. Well, also a reason I want to have you on at some point for sure, and I guarantee that was a thing in my head, is you're doing a lot of social media activity, but like good stuff. Like you're putting a lot of stuff up. What's your mentality with that? Grind.com. That's good.
No, I'm just, you know, it's early. I'm figuring it out. I just hit 10K on Instagram today.
I did notice that today. I looked, because I had you on the show, I was like, I'm going to look at her profile. Oh, 10K. You're getting into 5 digits here. They put a 1, a 0, and then a K, but that's 10,000. You know,
it stands for 10,000.
You knew that. You know, listen, you're the first one on the show. I'm not going to mansplain 5 minutes in. I know you know that.
He thought I didn't know what 10,000 was?
Yeah. Listen, if I can go viral just for looking like a D-bag, whatever. I'll take what I can get. I need to get to Yvette's level of 10,000 over here. Okay, I'm at a measly 3,155 as of 7:45 p.m. Who's counting? Who's keeping track? I'm my own producer. I have to do these things.
Right.
Know? So I do have to look. By the way, I think my screen time on my phone today, because I also teach tennis. I do stand-up and I teach tennis. Yeah. So because it rained today, I was off. I was off, but I was grind mode. I was producing like the last episode. I filmed last night. Did a lot of stuff, time codes. I'm trying to do the whole thing on YouTube, you know.
Fantastic.
So my whole day was that, and I was on my phone a lot, and I think it gave me like hypertension. A lot was happening. You know?
It's bad for the brain. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
You look like you play tennis.
I look like it?
You got the whole look
I've
for
adopted it.
I don't know what it is. It's like an intangible thing. My dad plays tennis 7 days a week.
Nice. Where are you from, by the way? Are you from New York or elsewhere?
I'm from Westchester.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, New York. What? Yeah, tennis. Does he do paddle too?
Yep, in the winter.
Okay, yeah. So I teach paddle in the winter too. Wait, I was about to. We could bleep it out. Like, does he belong to a club? I'll bleep it. I promise.
Yeah.
Where does he belong to? I'll bleep it. Okay, I probably know the pro there and stuff. I'm guessing if you know the pro's name, you say it.
I don't think I know.
Probably a guy from Croatia, but like I'll just say yes, I know. Yeah, I'll bleep the club. I promise. No, I teach platform tennis. I paddle, as we call it. Now padel, the European.
Yeah, what the hell is that? It's like this trendy bullshit.
Yeah, but it's more athletic than the one like your dad and I play, because I'm a middle-aged man. So this is what I do.
Right.
Do you play paddle too or no?
Nope, never played.
Never
played paddle, but I played tennis growing up.
Yeah, paddle's fun. Like I almost like it more than tennis in certain ways. I like, the good thing is like seasonally, like I teach tennis from like March through October, November, and then it's all paddle. But there's like a little pollination where I do both. Every time I say the word pollination, I feel like a bee. Like I feel like I'm a real like Linda Ellerbee, like a real bee.
How many times are you saying pollination in casual conversation?
At least 3 times a week. At least 3.
I mean, how many times do you think about the Roman Empire?
Yeah,
like we're onto something here.
Do you see Dan's video about that? Dan Toomey?
No.
Shout out Dan Toomey. He's very funny, nice guy.
Oh, I did see it. My friend
with his girlfriend. Well, you know, in the video, the girlfriend video person.
Right.
But it was funny because it was like the girl. Basically, listen, there's no spoiler. This isn't like his material. You could go on Instagram and see it.
Check out the
vid. .com. I said .com twice now. But Dan's video is basically he's on the couch chilling, and the girlfriend is like taking a video of him. She's like, babe, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And he's just like, what are we doing? Like, you know, he's just acting like disgruntled boyfriend, doesn't want to hear about it. He's like, is this a trend? Why are you filming me? You know, like I'm in my pajamas. And then she like makes him look it up. Just watch the video. I enjoyed it, and I had to do that.
And we love content on this pod.
We do. Like, we're distributing clips. Me and Hamza, as I said, I've known him for over a year now, and I called him Indian by accident, but he's Pakistani American. But it was organic. It made sense. I didn't, like, he made it sound like he was Indian for a second.
Okay.
Because I was saying I love these Indian comics. I love, like, you know, Nimesh Patel and Akash Singh, and he's like, and Hamza. And I was like, and Hamza, you know, another Indian comic I love. He's like, actually Pakistani. I'm like, well, you led me into that ring of fire.
Trapped.
Yeah, he trapped me a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm a victim, and even though I mansplained to my first female guest on purpose as a bit, and I called somebody Indian even though they're Pakistani last night, we're doing fine. We're making it work.
The pod's going great.
Yeah, I made a thumbnail. I'm starting to make thumbnails for the pod, so that's
huge
official.
step.
Do you have a podcast, or you're a smart person? You don't do a podcast?
No, I tried. I actually had a podcast idea. And I actually filmed a couple episodes, like recorded them, and they were terrible.
Yeah.
And I threw it away.
Why were they? Wait, what was the idea?
The concept of the pod was trying to get people to tell me like their secrets and me asking them like needling questions, which is something that I enjoy in my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I was doing it on the pod, people were very aware that they were being recorded and filmed.
Okay.
And so it didn't go well, and it made everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you didn't tell them you were filming them?
No. Everyone knew that they were being filmed.
Oh, okay.
It was all above board. It was just that like I'm used to having these conversations offline.
Oh, I see.
And then and so I was like, oh, it'll be so normal because people love to talk to me about this stuff in their private time. So like I'll just record it.
They froze up a little bit.
But it didn't flow the way I wanted it to, I just couldn't navigate it.
Yeah, see, I don't do gotcha journalism over here, so
See, and that was my mistake.
That's okay. But I did tell you beforehand, like, we'll dive into, I'll be like, oh, how you feeling and stuff like that. It's kind of like a little, here's the thing. There are a lot of people who are like, we're doing a mental health podcast. I'm like, yeah, like everybody's got a mental health thing in them. Like
sure.
you have to deal with it. You have thoughts and you have to like deal with them, right? All day, every day.
Well, I'm a woman. Sorry, I don't have thoughts.
Right. Well, that's right. You guys just got them in what, like 2018, 19?
I'm still waiting for mine to kick in.
Yeah, they haven't yet?
They keep saying they're coming, but I just...
I'll cross the border into Greenpoint. I'll give you some.
Some thoughts?
Yeah, there's
there
are other comics over there too that could help you out if you needed some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they can write me some jokes.
Yeah. I mean, I know, you don't have any secrets for people to give you anymore. You're not doing that. So, yeah, if you needed that, that's fine. No, I'm sure you're intelligent. So, I just broke from the bit, guys, is what I did. Now, you're smart, you're funny, and you got this stuff kicking. How's it been, like, making these videos and stuff? I know, like, I do the same thing. I'm not doing it at the clip you're doing, so I'm, like, impressed with the output.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to deliver. So that's, I think, why I've been sort of doing it at this rate. But also the algorithms reward you for consistency and posting every day. Yeah. So I just kind of was like, okay, so I'll figure out how to post every day.
Yeah.
And grow my following. And it's been working so far. So we'll see if I can keep it up. But I think off the top, when I first started getting like a couple like consistent viral videos, I was like, okay, awesome. I'm going to post 8 videos a day.
Have you done that?
I did that for like a couple weeks.
Okay.
And then it was diminishing returns. It was just not worth it.
Yeah.
So now I have to like get used to like a lower cadence where I'm doing like 1 to 2 videos a day.
Yes. Yeah, no, there's another comic. I mean, a lot of comics do this, but Alvin Kwai, I don't know if you know him or not. Yeah, Alvin Kwai, he's been accelerating the amount of videos he's been putting out, and it's been working, like, because the way I view, like, when I do them, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like go on Adobe Premiere and put captions, and they're gonna be yellow, and people love yellow, that's a color, and then like I do that, but then I'm just like, oh, but he'll just like do a video and like a remix of something, and he'll do a quick joke, and it's also like a good joke exercise. Which do you view your videos as that, like a joke exercise? Or
yeah I think the difference between, I think a lot of comics will view social media as an outlet for stand-up. Right. I think that might be a mistake. I'm not going to say like 100% that's not true. I think it's a different platform. And so it's nice because I don't feel like I'm cannibalizing my stand-up material.
Yeah, for sure.
I think different things work online versus like in real life. Yeah. So the stuff that I talk about online is usually stuff that isn't like deep enough or doesn't have enough like meat to it to talk about offline or like on stage. But I just, the goal with it is to be sort of like relatable, quick, but have a punchline. Like it's definitely I wouldn't call them like jokes because like obviously jokes are a very specific thing and that happens in stand up. But I like to make it feel like I'm your really funny friend.
Right. And you are.
Thank you.
You did the one about the lesbian today. You're like, oh, my
Yeah.
outfit and I'm a lesbian or something. And it was like good because it was like a funny reveal at the end. Like when you're dressing like whatever it was. It was good. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
No, yeah.
You
So I
made
think
it,
that's
yeah.
definitely the formula that I'm playing with right now is like the classic misdirect, which is a stand-up thing.
It's good.
But I think that works really well online because it's quick.
Yeah.
And you can just sort of like set up something, you can deliver a hot take on something, and then you just sort of undermine it. And and I try and be like silly and self-deprecating and relatable.
Are you also hitting like YouTube shorts and stuff doing that?
That I have not gotten into yet.
You should. And the only reason I'm cutting you off because
cut me off.
Yeah, no. So the reason I'm cutting you off though is because like what they were doing for a while, shout out, they've been doing a better job of this. Also, Daddy Algorithm YouTube, if you're listening, please pump this show up. But what they used to do was you'd put a video up, they give you a hit of people watching it, and then really dip and then cut it off completely. Like they wouldn't share it at all anymore, pretty much, unless it like really
after like 24 hours or something.
No, like after like 20 minutes, like you'd get like 2.5 thousand views and some reactions, comments, and it stops. Similar to like TikTok, if like a video doesn't hit right away.
Like
But YouTube's doing a better job. But I've noticed, not just because of quality of content, like consistently now they're like letting it linger a little longer. So like a video I put out yesterday or the day before or something on Instagram and TikTok, like didn't do too much or whatever. But on YouTube, it like got people commenting. Like it did well there, where in the past, like it would have just stopped really, really quick. So they're actually trying to give you a chance of like, I think they could see probably like, oh, the other platforms are like giving you more of a chance. Let's try to catch up to that or something. So I was going to say for you, like you might as well put your stuff up there too.
Yeah. I mean, if it's already the same stuff, it's just like upload another thing. Yeah. I mean, they're all a little bit different and they're all a little funky in their own way. So yeah, I think the key to like keep your sanity is to just be like, do I think this is funny? Like just remind yourself it's not just the numbers.
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
Is this good? Is this something that I want to say? Especially now that like, I have some consistent people watching. Like the video that I posted today really reminded me that, because this was a reference to an earlier video actually that I posted about kissing a woman, and then everybody in the comments was like, oh my God, you're gay. And so then a bunch of people followed me.
And you just found out today you're gay.
And I found out today that I'm gay.
Congrats. This is a big thing for the podcast, by the way. This is big news.
I'm coming out on the pot. No. But it was fun because a lot of people in the comments of the video I posted today were like, I've been waiting for this. Like, this is why I followed you. So it's kind of like the memory of the internet it feels so short. But if you start thinking like, oh, but there's people on the other side of this, and they actually kind of like, they do think I'm funny. They do sort of care what's happening in my life. And then that feels like nice, because then I can really like talk to people. Right. Which is what you do in stand up, because you're standing in front of people, but the internet feels very impersonal. So hopefully I can keep that.
Yeah, well, the consistency is very important. I mean, me, like, I know, like, I'm fans of comics because I listen to their podcast every week. If I didn't, I'd probably drop off in thinking about them a little bit, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, I guess they exist. I forgot about that person. But because they hit it so hard and they're doing it every week, I'm like, oh, there they are, like, and then people, like, now you're doing it. Momo does it, like,
Momo's great.
He does it consistently. Frankie's been doing it, like, every day on his TikTok, and, he's built up a little following. People care about his life. They're like, oh, how's the van and stuff, so it's cool. Like, I think, and that's why, like, I'm trying to be, to be fully transparent, like, part of why I don't put a lot of stuff out. Like, I went through, and I didn't talk about it on the last episode. Amazing. I went through a breakup a few months ago. And I care about my digital presence a little too much in relation to like how her and like people in her life will view me. And then I'm like, well, listen, she liked the person I was until she didn't. But then no, she does. We're cool. She's a cool person. But that's like, let's see how she reacts to this episode if she watches it. But no, like,
can we bring her on the pod?
Yeah. But like for a while I'd be like a little pickier about like sketches I would put up, because I'm like, oh, like, am I gonna look stupid to them? And then I was like, dude, I do like comedy. Like, I need to not care about that as much.
Yeah, because comedy is the art of debasing yourself.
Exactly. And listen, when you're on stage, it's different. Like, I connect to people. I just, the more honest I am, usually the funnier I am. So that's how I approach my material. But yeah, you mentioned it earlier. It's like putting your stand-up on the internet, it doesn't always do it justice. It could hit, and that's great.
Right.
But, I think, like, for the most part, like, I'll put it up and it's like something that works so well in person. You're like, oh, okay. Now you're focused on the numbers of it and didn't do as well as you'd like. And you're like, oh, but I love that bit. Like, I love what that is. So it's like I avoid putting it up. I just put some stand up here and there to like remind people that I do it, kind of.
Yeah.
Something that's a throwaway, you know, topical. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you ever put stand up online, or do you avoid that and just do sketches or other kinds of comedy?
I have some clips of my stand up clips. I just think that a lot of my bits that I really like to do are too long for the internet. And so they're a like little 25-minute bits, right? Yeah, because I do like a 45-minute.
Yeah.
I do my hour and it's all one bit. No. Yeah, so I just felt like it wasn't the right thing for the format. And I want to play to the strengths of the internet. And then I mean, you know, so I think all comics get in their heads about this, but like burning material feels like a very real thing.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think you're always burning material by posting it online. I think people don't remember you that well. So like even if they saw it, they'd be like, and then hopefully that bit is like part of a bigger thing. So it won't even feel like they saw it already. I think that's also the trick there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do if I have like a good clip that works, that feels like tight and I can just post it, I would post it. But I like to tell more like stories and talk about like bigger experiences, and then also maybe like stuff that's a little bit more like raunchy or dark. Yeah. And
that doesn't always translate to the internet.
That's just like not gonna play on the internet, and I'd much rather like be doing that live.
Yeah, if it's a story, like you could put it on Facebook and like, you know, your aunts and uncles be like, oh, I have the patience for a story, like I didn't grow up with 25 social media apps, you know. But for us and the people we're trying to attract to our content, it's like, stories don't always do it. So you're from Westchester.
Yes.
We're diving back. We're like re-arching the story. We're going backwards, but we're to bring back forwards. This is like a Christopher Nolan movie, really. It's kind of how we do it. A little bit, you know, it's Inception, you know, Oppenheimer, Inception over here. But you're from Westchester. When did you move to New York? How old are you? What's your social security number? I don't know like anything about you.
So it's such a good question. 09. No.
You're 0.
So I am 26 years old.
Okay, I'm 27.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Which in girl years is old enough to die. So
yeah, you're close.
Yeah, so we'll call it pretty soon. Thank God we're on this mental health podcast.
Yeah, of course. This is like last rites. This is good.
Also, fun thing that's happening on the internet. People this doesn't happen on TikTok almost at all, but like on Instagram Reels, it's like all incel men.
Right.
And which I love you guys. They comment that I look old. They
say you look old.
They're like, you're 40.
Wait, which platform again? I'm sorry.
This is Instagram.
Instagram, okay.
Exclusively Instagram.
And you're old.
So I am 26. Let's just set that straight.
Cool.
I'm 26 years old, and I moved to New York in late 2019. I think it was actually January 1st, 2020. I moved to Brooklyn.
January 1st. Sorry, my phone's on loud. I'm gonna just put it on low because after the 2-minute mark, it Okay, so I interrupted your life story. What did you say? You moved January 1st, 2020 to New York?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And just to hear, or were you in like another neighborhood first and then relocated?
I was in Bushwick.
Okay, so you're moving on up. You're Jeffersoning around over here.
Yeah, kind of upgraded.
Yeah, cool. The roommates or just you?
Just me.
Solitary confinement. Nice. Yep. Not bad. Me too. Solitary confinement.
Hell yeah.
It's not bad. It's good. And what was your comedy journey? Like, did you start early? Just started not too long ago? Like, I mean, you don't have to give me dates and times, but like roughly. You could pad it too. You could say you've been doing it 17 years just so you sound good. Like whatever you want to do.
In my brain, I've been doing it my whole life. No.
You have though. You have.
But yeah, I think all comedians probably like kind of technically have, because you are a funny person or you feel that's part of your identity, and then you make the switch. I studied drama in college and my entire life.
Yeah.
So I was always going to do something with that. That was my passion.
Where'd you go, by the way? Sorry.
Vassar College.
Yes, I've done this twice now. Vassar College, that's up in New York, upstate New York, kind of, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Where'd you go?
Sacred Heart University in Connecticut. Yeah, that's a place.
Right.
I'm from Queens, live in Brooklyn now. I emigrated, and it's good. Vassar, drama. And were you going to like do acting on the stage or in like, TV, film? What were you thinking?
Well, yeah, I was a dumb bitch.
Okay.
So
as we all
as you are
point.
when you're 18 and 22, I was like, I'm a Shakespearean actor and I am going to do that. And I want it bad enough. So I'm going to do it. Right. Nobody wants to see it is the problem.
Not too many, right?
Yeah. There's like one theater in New York that's halfway decent.
Yeah.
It's good. Theater for a New Audience, shout out. I love your work.
Yeah.
But that's like the only one that's doing like really, and the public does like Shakespeare in the Park in the summer. But either way, it's not a lot. And if you are a working actor on Broadway, you make like $60K a year.
Right.
I hope that's wrong.
Well, love of the game if you can get the job, but they don't have too many of them, you said, right? For Shakespeare.
Right. And I graduated and I realized that like if I wanted to be a stage actor, which is something that I was, trained in, that I loved doing, I was like, well, what's the top of that? And that's Broadway. And I just wasn't interested in anything that was on Broadway.
Yeah.
Like it was all just like movies that became like made into musicals. Like there wasn't a lot of original work. The stuff that was on wasn't good. And I'm not a musical person. Like I don't sing. I sing, but I'm not, a musical singer.
Have you considered dressing up in like Renaissance era clothing, taking like a turkey leg and a microphone in each hand and just going and reciting Shakespeare on the corner of like 42nd and Broadway or something?
That's a really good idea.
You could do that.
And that would feel like I made it, I bet.
Yeah, that's DIY, but there's a career there.
There's totally a trajectory.
Yeah.
And
why didn't you do it?
So
yeah, why didn't you do that?
Yeah, that's it never occurred to me.
So yeah, that's an option. It's just
let's keep it as a plan B. How about?
It's a plan B. Of course, like now most states allow for that too. I hope. So you have that now. Yes.
That took me a sec.
It took me a sec to think about it, but I did it in the back of my head, and then I
Good
brought it to the front fast enough where it seemed like it was quick.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm not a pun person. I never think of those.
Not really. I do too many. Some people are into it, and some people would argue they don't want to hear anymore. But
sure,
I do a lot of them.
It's good. It's good
One
skill.
of the illnesses of why I'm here doing this. A comedian with a podcast now. We're moving on up somewhere, whether it's in reality or in our head. We're moving on up a little bit.
It's some.
Yeah. But so that's cool. So then stand up. When did you start the stand up thing? You can make up a year.
I would never make it up.
You never. Okay.
I don't like to lie. I like to bare my soul to the world. I revealed the pizza thing. Like let's keep that going.
Pizza. I almost forgot about it. I'm a little upset you brought it up again. But it's okay. No, it's okay. It's fine. Just. Yeah, okay.
We'll just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, we'll pretend. We'll stand up. When did you finally take the leap?
So I watched stand up all my life, of course, and then in college I joined a sketch comedy group.
Nice.
So I was like, oh wow, this is awesome.
You guys wrote? You wrote and then performed them? Yeah.
Yeah. So and they did like a type. It was very absurdist comedy, and that was new to me. And I was like, this kind of opens a lot of doors in my mind, like creatively. I feel like there's a lot more opportunity here, like thinking outside of the box, creating interesting stuff, and being really silly, which I really loved. So I moved to New York, did UCB.
Oh, me too. I did improv first and then the sketch writing.
Yeah, I went straight to the sketch.
I did improv for one semester and then I realized I am not cut out for it. I could do it, but like I would come up with these premises that were like so wild. Like one of them that was ridiculous. My teacher, a very nice gay man, important that he's gay because he looked a little like Jonathan Van Ness. He did. Jonathan Van Ness is a they. This guy was a he, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully he's not watching because then if I misgendered him, I'm in trouble. But
this is your third slip up.
I've done so many. But that makes it fun. It's like roulette, spin the wheel.
What's he gonna say?
Right. But anyway, this person, my teacher, Shakespeare bows, he was very nice to me and wanted to like me, but I think didn't really like me that much. So he'd always just be like, edit, okay, and he'd be gentle, but he didn't really like my style. But again, I made some great friends in the class. But one time, like my premise that I came up with was like we were editors at like a college newspaper, and I was typing away at a computer that didn't exist, you know, because that's what you do in improv. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then my friend came over. He's like, what? And I was like, oh, the elephant they had in exhibition on campus stomped 23 people to death. You know, so it's not even, good. I wasn't even that kind of kid. I wasn't torturing bugs or whatever. Like I was very calm and tame, but in comedy on the fly, I was like, oh, what's funny? 23 fictitious college students dying. So, you know, to be fair to him, maybe I wasn't cut out for improv that much, but sketch,
I don't know, that kind of
sketch
writing,
writing,
funny to me,
where I have like time to think and put it down on paper or on a computer, I think that's more my wheelhouse. That's why I like stand up, because I write, like I riff and have fun, and that's great, and that feels like magic. But when like I'm oh my God, I'm such an only child. Yep, exactly. I mostly
feels like magic.
Yeah, like I barely sang that, but it happened a little. But I like writing and having a second. That's what I like about stand-up too. Like, you know, I'm an actor, I'm SAG-AFTRA, I'm not that involved, but I'm the thing. I have the card, and you know, strike, sure, you know. But they made an agreement today, I think. By the way,
yeah, I saw that.
The agreement, tentative agreement. But what I was saying with acting is like, I feel the pressure of like, oh, this is other people's words. These are other people's words. One time I did an acting showcase, and I dropped my line for like 7 seconds, but like full 7 seconds. Like that's a long time.
Yeah.
And like a woman in the back of the theater went, oh, and I was just like, oh my God.
It was that noticeable?
It was it was a while. Like, and it was just a monologue I knew for like 6 months.
Oh, you were alone on stage.
Yeah, but
so it was more obvious, like no one could save you.
Yeah, it was one of those, but it felt like, because I know the thing, but you know, it's different. There's people. I didn't even feel the pressure of the people. I felt the pressure, I think, of like, oh, I need to hit this because someone wrote it. You know? And when I do stand up, it doesn't have to be perfect. It could be just the blueprint of what you wanted to do, and you know the beats you want to hit. And some things I know word for word, but then there's other things where I just kind of fly it a little bit, you know? So yeah, that's kind of just like the whole synopsis of like my genesis into stand up.
Wait, so why are you SAG? What were you in?
When I was a kid, so basically like my dad is like a type A Italian guy from New York, and like he like knew Lorraine Bracco a little bit, because like, you know her from The Sopranos. She was like Dr. Melfi. I don't know if you
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was the psychiatrist or psychotherapist on the show. But so she just like got him and I involved in like indie films in New York. Like, she's like, yeah, my friend's doing this thing, go do it with him. And like, you know, just like small indie things. But they were like SAG, so we got eligibility. And my dad's like, yeah, this is cool, let's join. Hey, how you doing? Yvette doesn't like pizza, what's up, you know? And like he made like a big event of it. Like he pulled me out of school one day. He's like, yeah, we're going to Midtown. You know, you're going to join SAG-AFTRA. You know, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, so it was fun. So we just joined kind of for fun. And then out of college, I did some background acting and stand-in work, just like to do it and you made some money.
You made some money, yeah.
You get some money, you know, because I worked in journalism, and that's, you know, it wasn't like I liked the people I worked with. Wasn't for me too much, you know, like I wanted to do sillier stuff. Let's be real, you know, let's be very real with it. But yeah, and then pandemic hit, stopped doing like the SAG stuff, taught tennis again, and like, you know, for a bunch of years I was like writing, doing sketch writing, UCB, all that stuff. But like really just kind of like skirting around doing stand up, and then I finally got to it, and it's a big deal. I mean, it's changed my life in so many ways. You know, it's just the connectivity of you with the people. Like I said, I'm an only child, so like I have friends. I have friends allegedly, but like I want to connect with more people and be out in a community a little more.
And you want an audience.
I want an
audience. You're
not
comfortable with the conversation. You're comfortable with you and
because they're strangers. Like I don't want my family there. You know, like I could do it in front of my family. I have them at shows. Like going to Florida this week. My dad's gonna go to a show with me, and you know, whatever.
Cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It was sweet, but like I ruined it. But I'm sorry.
I was trying to be nice.
You were trying to be nice. I felt like I needed some edge, because I was saying too many things about my life, and then I was like, I needed to like edge this up a little bit.
You're like, yeah, cute.
Yeah, cute, sure, you know. But yeah, that's you get it. You know how it goes. Why did you finally decide to start stand up whenever you did?
I was really committed to sketch when I moved to New York, and then UCB closed the second day of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I was like in the middle of 202 or whatever, like the second level of sketch. And I really wanted to do the house teams, but all that stuff just like evaporated. And then I was looking at the careers of every like actor and writer and person that I've ever loved and wanted to emulate, and they all started in stand-up or did stand-up at some point.
Okay, so that was really the thing, like just people you're inspired by, and you're like, oh, that seems like a natural thing to do.
It felt utilitarian to me at first. It felt like, okay, this is a necessary evil, but it also terrified me.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to like performing other people's words, and like you kind of can hide behind something a little bit. Like you don't have to bare your soul when you're acting in the same way. I mean, it's a different type, but no one's looking at you acting on stage and being like, that's you. Yeah. But when you're doing stand-up, people, even if you're not being yourself, if you're elevating something or playing a character, people assume it's you. Right. So it's different. So that scared me. And also, my brother always told me growing up that I was terrible at telling stories. So I just had that in my mind.
Chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, so I was like, I can't talk for long periods of time ever. Like, that's never going to be something I'm going to be good at.
So it set you back, you're saying. I thought you were going to be like, oh, I had to show him. Like, I could do this.
Oh, well, now I guess I still...
You have.
Yeah.
You've shown him.
10K on Instagram. No. Take that, Sam. No.
Sam.
Redact that.
No,
Redact
that one. That's staying
first
in.
Name.
Oh, no. I'll cover that up. That's fine.
No, I'm kidding. It's fine.
Cool. It makes it better. Cool.
Fine.
I'll leave it.
But yeah. So I tried stand up. As soon as I got vaccinated from the pandemic. Oh. And so I started. 2020.
2020. Oh yeah.
When was the vaccine?
Was it late?
I started 2 years ago. So
2021. 2021. Yeah. I'm about 2 years as well. Yeah. I started New Year's Day a little less than 2 years in 2021. Yeah.
Was that?
Or was it 2020? Wait, it was 2021. It was during pandemic, but like things were open and stuff. Like
it was like socially just outdoor dining time.
Well, I did a lot of Joey Bats, but it was the first one was at like whatever they call Whiskey Cellar now, or Cellar 7. It was Cellar 77 at the time. Right. Yeah. Like stand up for me. Yeah. My thing was just like I wanted to do it, but then in my head I'd be like, oh, like how did like Bill Burr's amazing. How could I ever do what he does and all this stuff? And then you go to book shows in New York more and more, and you realize like, oh, there's a spectrum of talent, of what people are doing, how they're doing it. Like you could have your own style, find your own style, enjoy it, like write some stuff. So like 4 or 5 months before I even got on stage, I was like, all right, I'm going to like try to write material right now. Mm-hmm. And like, listen, like I said, only child, I can talk to myself. I can recite things. I'm not using mirrors.
You were that young.
I'm not that nuts. I'm not looking at mirrors, but like, I'll talk to a wall.
You got an inner monologue.
Yeah, I'll look at a table and just like mumble things and be like, I wouldn't be aware that I'm looking at the table, but that's where my eyes will go. You know? It's like I remember like distinctly, like I was in like UCB doing sketch writing, and then like after the class, like I was in Maine with my mom for like a quick little trip, like the Stage Neck Inn, shout out. I was just in the lobby at night and just like, I was like, let me write some stand-up bits. Let me do that. And, a bunch of the things like I still kind of use, like, because I'm a genius and like that's what happens. But no, I'm kidding. It's in like a year, I'll look at it and be like, it's not that good. But for right now, I think it's amazing. But you get what I'm saying? Like, do you ever do that? Do you have stuff that from early on that you like still do or no?
Yeah. One of my favorite jokes I wrote like first month.
Yeah, it goes like that. When you have it in you, like, remember also, like, less is more and all this stuff. Yeah. Unless it's intricate, and I'm just assuming gender of the bit.
No, it's like it's a snappy short.
Yeah.
Sort of quickie. Yeah. It's a good one. I mean, it had been, like, something that I'd been thinking about for a long time, so I guess that helps if you're, like, talking about, like, a bigger social thing.
You digested it. Like, you thought about it, and it just became part of you, so it doesn't feel like a big deal. At a certain point.
Probably. Right. And it still feels like relevant through time. So
right. So it'll be on your 10th special, basically.
It'll be on my Comedy Central 10, yeah.
Yeah. Are you like looking, so do you see stand up as your main thing, or do you just feel like you'll be like comedy fluid and figure it out?
I think comedy fluid because I love stand up. I think it's just like, it's so fun. And the thing that I loved about acting was like, I loved acting, but like performing really, really did it for me. Just like being able to like really like connect with it. I also think that actually like, you were an actor. So like soliloquies in Shakespeare, like when you're like talking to the audience, that was like that was my favorite thing to do in those plays. So stand up is kind of scratching that itch for me.
Yeah.
Which is really great. And then I have like full autonomy and control over what I say, which is kind of like
the best, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. And like you said, like you can fiddle with it in ways that you can't. It's rigid when you're acting, but when it's your work, you can just kind of play around and like do stuff while you're in the moment, and like that's really gratifying if you can do something in the moment and it works.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah, and I mean it's helped me too, mentally, like I talk. This is a mental health kind of podcast a little bit. But yes, there we go. That gave me some power because I like the raise. It felt like John Carlos in the Olympics back in 1969 or 68. Yeah. I think that's verified data. But what I was going to say, to pivot a little bit, it's 2023. You're a 26-year-old person. Like you seem in good spirits. You seem like things are cool. But you're like, yes, I'm putting it on.
Yes.
But do you ever like struggle with your mental health, or are you just like a good, strong-minded person and things are mostly cool?
I mean, listen, I feel good. I feel really good. I think
that's good. I'm happy.
I mean, of course, there are things that we all work through. I think I've done a good job at taking care of that.
That's good.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like life is varied and complex. Not every day is a good day, and we need to like take that in stride. But I think overall, I would consider myself to be an incredibly happy person. I feel like when things go wrong in your life, what people forget, or some people, don't have this ability. I mean, not to pass judgment. I just feel like the thing that I'm able to do is like look at my set of circumstances and be decisive about what I want to do next. That
helps a lot.
Yeah.
Being decisive, yep.
Yeah, and like what I feel like I have a good handle on what would make me feel better in any given moment. So like,
and you just attack, like you're good about doing it.
Yeah, I'm a doer.
Good.
Which is also something that I really liked about starting stand up and joining that community.
Yeah.
Because I feel like stand up is like a world of doers.
It is. Even the ones who don't think they are doers.
They are on the whole.
There are people who act in stand up. People are like, I'm lazy, I don't do this. It's like, no, you're out here. You left your house.
Right.
For like something that's kind of extracurricular but can become your career if you hit it hard enough. Like you're out here. It's like a Tuesday night at 11:45 p.m. and you're out.
And you're at a mic, you're at a show.
You're working on stuff.
Yeah, and like people say they're going to be somewhere, they're there. I mean, of course things happen, there are exceptions, but yeah, I feel like that's why I felt like I connected also with the stand-up community, because I was like, oh my God, like these are people who are really doing stuff.
Yeah, you get so much out of it. I mean, like my thing, what I'm happy about is like I can struggle with depression, like it happens, but it's not like as debilitating as it used to be, because like stand-up has given me like an everyday motivation. Like, oh, you have this thing to work on. You have a show tonight. You're growing. You're meeting people. Like the people, if you go to the show tonight, like you don't want to skip it, because if it goes well, people are going to be nice to you, and you're going to feel like, oh, the thing I wanted to talk about, I did talk about, and someone related to it, or I was just happy I did it. Like, there's those like intangibles you almost can't describe about it too. So yeah, I'm happy with that aspect of it. Do you feel like you have good, like, do you have like a friends group, or you just have like friends kind of scattered?
I love to collect people.
You do? You keep them in your apartment?
I keep them close. I like
cabinets or drawers?
Just like a smattering.
Yeah.
Wherever they fit.
Good diplomatic answer. Good.
Under the bed.
Oh yeah.
In the basement.
Yeah.
No, I like to find people who I love and who are exceptional. And I think all of my friends are people that I find to be exceptional and who I like adore. So I don't really have like friend groups. I've never really been a friend group person.
I have like mini friend groups, but not like a big like pack. I don't have a pack of wolves that I'm with, like we're not like, like we're not.
Do adults have that?
It's less of them, thankfully, but some do.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. I keep it a little bit lighter, a little looser. Yeah, the valve is off and the water is flying out of the fire hydrant for me. Like, we're good. We don't have a pack.
Sure.
That was an analogy.
How many friends do you have?
The exact number, I
Count
would say maybe like 1,900 real ones.
That's a lot.
I know all of everything about their lives.
1,900 people?
Yeah, like the year 1900. I have that many friends.
I don't believe you.
I'll write them all out right now.
Do you keep a spreadsheet so you can remember them all?
Alphabetical. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I follow north of 2,000 people on Instagram. I probably don't remember most of them,
Yeah, and that's the tough reality of life.
It is, but it's okay. Like I have some of the friends, some of them that I have, two of them are like from my college tennis team, and then I have one of my other best friends from college, and then a couple from middle school. I have a friend from middle school who didn't invite me to his wedding, and I thought I should have been invited to, and that's okay. Things happen.
And that's when you learned you weren't friends.
That's when I learned he might have taken something too seriously. No, I'm just kidding. No. It was a weird thing where
he was serious about that fight we had.
No, it's one of these friends that, like, I'm not gonna say his name or anything. No details about his life.
No.
No, that would be great content. No,
say your ex-girlfriend's name. No.
It just, and like I know his wife now too. We all went to high school together. We're so cool when I see him in person. Like, we were really tight in middle school, pretty tight in high school, like whatever. No, you don't even have to get into details. But yeah, and then obviously you see people less, but you thought like we were cool. Think there was a thing where like we didn't really discuss it, but on a matter of like politics, say we differed, but we didn't really like talk about it, and he just like straight away, and I'm fine with it because I'm like, all right, well, he's gonna take that so seriously, like that's fine,
right?
Yeah, just yeah. I was gonna make a joke, but I won't. But it's no, everything's fine. Like I still love him and whatever. Sure, maybe he doesn't even see it as seriously. He was just like, Anthony's maybe on the bubble, and bye, which is fine. Have you ever had your heart broken by your best friend who had a wedding and then didn't? I'm just kidding. I'm fine with not. I saved money. You saved money
and that's fine.
I got invited to another wedding for next year. My friend, she's getting married, so that's
gorgeous.
cool. Yeah.
I love weddings.
Yeah, you said, that's what I'm gonna say to my bank account, but it'll be fun. It's actually local, so it's not gonna be too bad. I don't have to travel. How do you feel about destination weddings?
I love them in theory, but in the practicality of it is garbage.
Yeah. Like this one made sense though. So like my cousin Connor and his now wife Nicola, congrats. They got married in June in Ireland. They live in Jersey City, but they're both from Ireland and all their parents live in Ireland.
Yeah. If it's family, that's hardly a destination.
That makes sense. Makes sense. That one we should go to. Honestly, I'm donating to the Irish Tourism Board. We're doing it. And
that's also
sense.
a cool trip.
Then
at least you get to like do something sick.
Yeah, I mean Ireland, like this was the third time I've been there, and it's Ireland, but it's cool. It's pretty.
I've never been.
You should go.
See,
go to like my family's mostly from Galway, and Mayo, but like the west coast of Ireland's pretty. Cliffs and Moher, Dingle's cool from what I've heard. Cork, I've been to Cork. Yeah, you should just go there. But it's one of those, like, everything closes so early. It's like the pharmacy closes at like 8 a.m. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, it opens at 8 and then it closes at 8:05. Yeah, you were close.
Yeah.
There's a tight window to get your prescriptions. Let's just say that, But I was in Italy too. I liked Italy. Where have you been? Have you been places? Have you gone to a lot of places?
Some places.
Where have you been? Like where?
The first double mic.
Yep.
The furthest I've been, I studied abroad in Nepal.
Oh, that's like exotic far.
Yeah, it was far. It's a very different place from here and from where I'm from.
Yeah, it's like 8,000 miles far, probably. How many miles about?
Probably
more than that, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm bad at numbers.
Feels like way too few miles.
So you studied there? Wait, what'd you do there? Sorry.
I studied abroad. So I lived in and around Nepal for 4 months.
How was that?
Formative. It was very it was just fundamentally so different from anything I'd experienced up to that point, and probably frankly anything I've experienced since. Just because there's such different cultural norms and knowledge is different there, and being white is very interesting there.
Did people take pictures with you?
In India, yeah.
Oh, in India.
They did.
Really? That's interesting. Because, I mean, I'm not shocked or anything, but I'm like, because I feel like India is a place, there's so many cities there and stuff, too.
Yeah.
That, like, people from other places would be coming through.
Yeah. So I didn't really spend any time. So the study of the focus of my program was Tibetan and Himalayan peoples. and Tibetans are in diaspora. So
I know a lot of Tibetans.
Really?
Like too many.
Can I meet some of them? Because I need to brush up on my Tibetan.
Shout out Tenzing. Shout out one of my best friends, Ugin. I think he's Tibetan. If he's not, sorry. But yeah.
Yeah, because Tenzin is a really Tibetan name.
That's
like
a really Tibetan
classic.
name. Yeah, I know him. He was my boy from high school, and he has a child now.
Wow.
Yeah, a young dad. He's gonna be cool.
That rocks. Good for him.
Yeah. But so you went to Nepal, and do you speak the language or any of that stuff, or?
I learned a few words.
That's good enough.
Here and there. I lived with a Tibetan family.
Nice.
In Kathmandu. And so then we went to the south of India, like 8 hours inland from Goa, which is like a coastal town, like a beach town.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you were like really inland, like.
Yeah, so that's why, like, I'm sure it's less of a big deal to be white in the cities. I don't know because I didn't go to those. We were like very rural India.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like Katy Perry.
Did you sing Firework for them?
Of course. No.
Good.
Yeah, so that was very interesting. And then, because we stayed in a Tibetan camp.
In India.
Oh,
okay. Nice.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable experience. And we were there for the Tibetan New Year. So there was like a lot of festivities and stuff.
When is that? When's the Tibetan New Year?
It's like.
Was it yesterday?
It lasts so long.
Yeah.
I think it was. It was like the whole month of February.
Is it like a secular kind of calendar for them, or is it tied to religion?
It's religious.
Oh, okay. Buddhism or different? Okay. I don't know. I said that with like a weird Southern accent almost. I was like Buddhism. But yeah, we did. But okay. And what was the festival like? Sorry, I kind of interrupted that part.
Oh no, there's just like just a ton of stuff, like a lot of like music and singing. There was like Tibetan theater one day that was in Kathmandu. There was just like a lot. I mean, there was so much, to be honest. It was overwhelming. I mean, everyone just like dresses up nice, and you wear like the Tibetan clothes, and like they braided my hair, which was really sweet.
Nice.
Put these like it's not strings, but like braided sort of things, and they weave them into your hair, into your braids. So that was cool.
Tassels. I don't know. I just want
kind of tassels. Yeah.
I want to sound like I know words.
And then my amala, which means homestay mom, there gave them to me at the end of the trip.
That's sweet.
It was so sweet. I cried.
How long ago was this? Was this during college?
This was during college. This was my junior year abroad. So It was, yeah.
Would you ever go back?
I would. That's a tough question for me.
Because you want to say no.
I want to say yes. It's, I almost died so many times.
Really? That's what I see, because I want to explore more places, but I've been to like DR, Puerto Rico. I've been to like a lot of European places other than the Caribbean. I haven't been to places more exotic than that. So I've been to places that are very similar to America. I feel like I want to go to like Vietnam and Cambodia and do all that stuff. I want to go to, Japan's just like us, but Japan, like with sushi and stuff,
But I will say, like, I did it on hard mode. I didn't do, like, I was living with Tibetan families.
Right.
I was, like, it was very, like, DIY trip. Like, we were...
What were some of the dangerous things you dealt with?
Well, just, like, nothing, like, so unexpected. I mean, so dysentery. I had dysentery thrice.
Oh, wow. That reminds me of the Blink-182 song, Dysentery Gary. Is a good song. I'm not going to do it. I won't. But
there's a song called dysentery.
Yeah, not to sound uneducated, but what is dysentery again? If
it's a bacterial stomach virus.
Ooh, yeah. Is that related to like water or food or?
Yeah, it's like if you ingest poop.
Oh, I see.
It's not. I mean, it's not exactly.
At first, I know what you're gonna say, and then I was like, "Wait a second!" Right before you said, I was like, "I think I know what you're gonna say."
Like animal
feces, fecal matter. That sounds scientific. Good.
Because like the water isn't,
not
like filtered, and so my homestay family was like boiling water, but So when I got into the mountains, the second time was the worst I had it. Maybe I was on an IV drip for 8 hours in the hospital there. I was sick. Very painful.
Ouch.
And but the third time I had it, I was in the Himalayas. This is where it gets very common. So we were at 14,000 feet, so it was above the tree line.
Yeah.
And to light fires and to cook in like their ovens and their stoves, they use dried like yak pies.
Okay.
So
yak pies meaning
like dung,
animal
dung, but it's dried, so it's flammable. So
okay.
But you know, like my
can...
delicate Western stomach
right.
is not gonna be able to handle. So like what they do is they'll like, you know, I literally watched my amala like put this in the stove and like light the fire and then like flip the bread.
Right. Oh, so it like touched.
Yeah, like and then also, you know, things aren't like, I mean, it's cold up there, but things aren't like refrigerated in the same way. It's just like,
yeah, a lot of gray area.
It's
with
just
the
there's
food.
more. Well, there's just more like bacterial exposure that like my body's not accustomed to.
Right,
so,
they
like,
are.
They
it's,
are.
It's not like to condemn their lifestyle. It's like just they're used to it, and we're kind of not. I guess.
No, we 100% are not.
We are not. Yeah.
Everyone on my program, there were 24 American students. Every single person got dysentery at least once.
Yeah. How long does it last for? I mean,
a few days. You get the antibiotics, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I didn't have the antibiotics when I was in the Himalayas, so I kind of had to just power through it. I think my friend had like one lone antibiotic pill, and so I took it, which you're not supposed to do.
I mean, somebody else's. You're not supposed to do someone else's.
No, you're just like one dose, because then you can like
stop.
kill some. Yeah,
you can kill
because you don't like then it can like grow back stronger.
Oh, I see.
Which it did, but it got me through that part of the trip, so it was okay. I was so skinny though after. I was like,
you're here to tell the tale, and you got skinny from it.
And I got so skinny for a bit, but then I also got licked on the hand by a street dog, and I had a cut on my hand.
Oh.
And so I had to get the rabies vaccine. I probably would have been fine, but I was just like, am I gonna risk this?
Yeah.
No. So that was one. That was my birthday. That was fun. And then
nice. When's your birthday?
March 31st.
Okay, far.
Yeah.
It'll come back.
I don't want it to come back. I don't want to get any older.
You'll just be 27. It's fine. It's okay.
You know?
It's what I know. All of those people. It's a club. I'm almost out.
When's your birthday?
January 24th.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
It's like you got some good time though.
I'll be 28.
Make the most of it.
Yeah. For sometimes I feel like, oh my God, close to 30. But I feel like I have like a full like 2 years and 1 quarter if we're talking the business world. 2 years and a quarter till I'm 30. I feel okay about it.
That's good.
I'm not upset.
Don't be upset.
Ask me if I'm upset.
Are you upset?
No.
Okay.
Thanks. I appreciate you appeasing me on that. So you survived dysentery and you're here to tell the tale and you're feeling good.
Yeah.
And that's good. I think we've talked for a while. And I don't really know what else to say because thank you again. I have you here at night. It's like night. You did a show that's going to rebrand and call itself Silly Yeast.
Yeah.
It's Silly Geese right now, but they're going to be Silly Yeast.
Simple yeast.
Simple, silly. Oh, simple. That's what I said.
That's
right?
what you said.
It's like simple syrup, but yeast instead. Yeah, guys. Yvette Segan. Yvette or Yvette? Or I said the same thing twice.
Yvette.
Yvette. That's better. That's good.
Yeah.
Yvette Segan. Where can they find you if anyone's listening still at this point of the episode?
On Instagram, Yvette Segan.
10K.
10K. Get me to 11.
Yeah, by tomorrow.
Please.
It's coming. It's happening.
And then TikTok, Yvette. Yevit, which is my camp nickname from growing up.
Yvette. The cool.
Yevit. My very best friends call me Yev.
Yev. All right, cool. I like the variation. That's branding, marketability. We can work with that. All right, cool.
It's cute.
Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You bailed me out, and we just got to your episode quicker. Why not? First woman, she's getting a plaque.
I love it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was fun.